individual caramel cakes. And I'm starting with the dry ingredients. 1.5 cups of flour, and then a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon each of allspice, cinnamon, and nutmeg. The cake itself is to die for. I'm just gonna get these sifted together. Now I'll move on to the wet. I've got 3 eggs. I'm gonna add a cup of vegetable oil and a cup of sugar, a splash of vanilla, a cup of buttermilk. All right, that's it for the wet ingredients. Now I'm gonna take the dry and just dump them right into the wet, and then I'll stir this around. You don't want to get the batter perfectly smooth. It should have a few lumps all throughout. That's the cake batter. I'm gonna bake them in these cute little cast iron pans. I smeared a whole bunch of butter on the inside. I'm gonna fill them just about 3/4 full. Now I've gotta get them in the oven. They're gonna bake at a pretty low temperature, 300 degrees. But they're gonna bake for about 45 to 50 minutes. They'll be really moist and just barely done. I'm gonna add a cup of sugar to the saucepan and 1/2 stick of butter, and then just a few more things. 1/2 cup of buttermilk. I'll drizzle in a tablespoon of corn syrup and some vanilla. Okay, I'm adding 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. I'm gonna turn on the heat. I've got to stir it around so that the butter melts. The sugar's gonna start to melt, and it needs to cook for about 7 minutes or so. Definitely do not leave the saucepan at this stage. It's gonna turn into a nice caramel icing. Look at this. It is absolutely a miracle. Now the caramel cakes are just ready to come out of the oven, and the secret to this is to pour this caramel icing all over the cakes right when they come out of the oven. And here we go. And if you play your cards right, caramel icing will seep down into the edges